Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one you absolutely cannot afford to skip, because what I'm about to share could literally determine whether you stay safe on the road, avoid massive fines, or even keep your license in 2025. Canada is rolling out major driving law changes in December 2025, and these aren't small updates. These new rules will impact every single driver across the country, from daily commuters to newcomers to longtime residents who think they know the system inside out. So before you take your next trip, even a quick run to the grocery store, make sure you watch until the end so you don't get caught by surprise. Let's start with the big shift that has everyone talking right now. Provinces and territories are finally moving toward harmonized road safety standards, which means the rules are becoming more uniform across the country. Many drivers are used to differences between places like Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, and Quebec. But December 2025 will start closing those gaps. One of the most important changes is the national tightening of distracted driving penalties. Police across Canada will be enforcing tougher fines and longer license suspensions for anyone caught using a phone or any electronic device while driving. Even briefly checking a notification at a red light can now count as an offense under the updated enforcement guidelines. Officers will also rely more on roadside cameras and AI-assisted monitoring systems in pilot regions to catch distracted drivers. These systems aren't just targeting texting. They can detect if a driver is holding anything in their hand that takes attention off the road. Another major shift in December 2025 involves speeding rules. Speed cameras are increasing nationwide, but the big change is the introduction of dynamic speed limits on major highways. These digital speed limits will adjust automatically depending on weather, traffic, or real-time conditions like icy roads or poor visibility. Ignoring these variable speed signs will carry heavier penalties than normal speeding, because the government considers them safe. Drivers can expect fines that double during bad weather alerts, and repeat offenders may face mandatory defensive driving courses or insurance surcharges that last for years. Insurance companies are preparing to integrate this new data into their risk assessment models, which means your driving record will matter more than ever. Now let's talk about impaired driving, which remains one of Canada's top road safety concerns. Starting December 2025, new national guidelines will lower the acceptable threshold for both alcohol and drug impairment. Some provinces are also moving toward mandatory roadside testing for cannabis impairment, especially after increases in collision reports linked to THC-related driving behaviors. The new rules allow officers to conduct more frequent screening without requiring strong suspicion, meaning random checks may become more common. If a driver is caught with any sign of impairment, even if technically below older limits, officers can issue immediate suspensions. There will also be significant penalties for refusing testing, including automatic multi-day suspensions, towing fees, and potential criminal charges depending on the situation. Winter tire rules are also receiving updates. Several provinces with high snowfall regions are expanding mandatory winter tire zones, and the enforcement dates are being extended deeper into December. Some highways in British Columbia and Quebec will now require certified winter tires until mid-April, and Ontario's government is reviewing similar requirements after a rise in winter collisions. Places with mandatory tire rules will have stricter roadside checks, and drivers who fail to comply could face fines or be denied travel on certain mountain or rural routes. Rental companies will also be required to disclose tire types to customers, and newcomers will be educated on these rules during licensing exams. Speaking of licensing, a very important change coming in December 2025 involves new drivers and internationally licensed drivers. Graduated licensing programs are being updated to include more intensive training in hazard perception and winter driving. Some provinces will require mandatory dashcam recording for new drivers during certain training periods. International drivers converting their licenses may also need to complete updated knowledge tests that reflect the new national standards. These changes aim to make sure every driver, regardless of background, understands the updated rules and the new technology being used on the roads. Electric vehicle rules are changing too. With EV use rising sharply, Canada is updating parking, charging, and lane usage laws. Certain provinces are planning to introduce dedicated EV lanes on major highways, similar to HOV lanes, and using these lanes without an EV could lead to heavy fines. More cities will also be enforcing parking restrictions in charging zones. Leaving your car parked at a charger after it has fully charged may now result in idle fees or penalties. The government is also working on new regulations requiring EVs to emit low-volume artificial sound at low speeds to prevent pedestrian accidents, especially involving children or visually impaired road users. If you own an older EV without this technology, you may be required to retrofit it. Another big update involves school zones and pedestrian safety. Starting December 2025, school zones across many regions will switch to automated enforcement during school hours. Cameras will capture speeding, illegal turns, and vehicles failing to stop for school buses. Fines in school zones are expected to increase by 25% or more, depending on the province. Drivers are also being warned about new no-turn-on-red rules in several busy cities to protect pedestrians and cyclists. Violating these rules will not only lead to fines, but may also add demerit points, depending on local regulations. Cyclist and pedestrian priority laws are expanding nationwide. Drivers must now give at least 1 meter of space when passing a cyclist, and some areas require even more room on high-speed roads. Failing to provide adequate space can lead to expensive penalties. Pedestrian right-of-way rules are also tightening, especially at uncontrolled crosswalks. Drivers must come to a full stop when someone is waiting to cross, not only when they are actively crossing. This is a common mistake that many drivers don't realize could soon cost them points on their license. One of the most talked about changes concerns vehicle modifications. New restrictions will apply to overly tinted windows, loud exhaust systems, and off-road lighting used on public roads. Police will have more authority to pull over vehicles with illegal modifications and issue immediate roadside orders to remove or repair them. Some provinces are introducing noise cameras that automatically ticket vehicles exceeding acceptable decibel levels, especially in urban neighborhoods where noise complaints have increased dramatically. Canada is also modernizing enforcement methods. Police vehicles will use more automated license plate readers to identify expired registrations, uninsured vehicles, or unpaid fines. Several provinces are shifting toward digital licenses and digital insurance cards, making it easier for officers to verify documents from their patrol cars. However, drivers must still carry backup identification because failing to provide proof during a stop can still lead to penalties. December 2025 will also mark the beginning of a new national campaign focused on eco-friendly driving. Governments plan to introduce incentives for drivers who maintain their vehicles properly, avoid aggressive driving, and follow eco-friendly driving habits. Some insurance companies may offer discounts for consistent, safe driving data collected from telematics devices. But on the other hand, aggressive acceleration, hard braking, and frequent speeding could raise premiums, especially for younger drivers. If you're a commercial driver, you should pay extra attention, because trucking and rideshare rules are tightening as well. Commercial vehicles will undergo more frequent safety inspections, and electronic logging devices will be mandatory everywhere in Canada. This reduces hours of service violations and encourages safer driving habits. Rideshare drivers will need updated background checks and vehicle condition reports, and cities may enforce new rules on pickup and drop-off zones. Another update many people haven't heard about yet is the expansion of emergency vehicle passing laws. All provinces already require drivers to slow down and move over for emergency vehicles, but the 2025 update expands this rule to include roadside maintenance workers, tow truck drivers, and even snowplow operators. Fines for failing to move over will be significantly higher, and repeat offenders may face mandatory safety training. As December 2025 approaches, drivers are encouraged to update their knowledge, check their vehicle compliance, review winter gear, and pay attention to the new digital signage. Even small oversights can lead to expensive consequences under the updated rules. The goal of these changes is to reduce accidents, improve road safety, and create more consistency nationwide. But it's up to all of us to stay informed and adjust our habits. Before we wrap up, here's one important reminder. These rules affect everyone, even if you drive only occasionally. Staying informed could save you hundreds of dollars in fines, protect your insurance rates, and most importantly, keep you and others safe on the road. So make sure you share this video with your friends and family, especially anyone who's new to driving in Canada or planning to move here soon. And with that, we've reached the end of today's update. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more important updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss crucial information like this. Driving laws are changing fast, and I'll be here to keep you ahead of all the updates. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and I'll see you in the next video.